Hello friends, my name is Akil and welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we discussed about the ngSwitch directive. The ngSwitch directive takes in some expression and gives us the results according to the cases matched. If the cases are not matched, it goes to the ngSwitch default and gives us the data that is defined in that block. In this video, we are going to talk about the ngTemplate. The ngTemplate is an element in Angular that is used with the structure directives. It is used to give us the data based on conditions, and it also makes our code reusable. Now, the content inside the ngTemplate is not directly rendered to the browser. We do have to manually render it to the browser. Like, we can take in some ngTemplate element, and inside here we will define any data. Like here we have an age tag, and inside here we will say Angular ngTemplate example. And now if we go to the browser and check whether it is working or not, so as you can see, there is no data, which is the Angular template example here on the browser. This is because ngTemplate does not render the data directly onto the browser. We do have to manually use the structural directives to render the contents of the ngTemplate. We can also use other ways to render the data on the browser. And the way we do that is we will take in some div tag, and inside here we will use the ngTemplate outlet, and inside here we will use the name of the template reference variable that we will create inside this ngTemplate. Like here, this is the name, like ngtemp. This is the template reference variable used with the hash symbol. We will discuss about these variables in our upcoming videos. Now we will copy it and paste it inside the ngTemplate outlet, which will render this into the browser. Now we'll take a look at the browser. As you can see, the Angular template example is coming from the ngTemplate content. So we discussed about the ngTemplate outlet, which is coming from the ngTemplate here from the ngTemplate tag. We can also use ngTemplate outlet instead of this, like the property binding. And inside here, ngTemplate outlet. So the data coming from the ngTemplate is same. Now we will use it through an example, like we will use it based on the condition. So we will make a condition like show data after boolean is equal to false, and inside here we will say only show the data if the ngIf is true. Like here we will set it to show data. If the condition is true, our data will be shown, otherwise not. Now inside here we will use it like here, if the data show data is true, our data will be shown, otherwise not. Like here we don't have any data coming from the ngTemplate. Like we set it to not false. Like here the data is also not shown when we set it to true. So now we can use another block like, oh, we will have to use it not inside that but inside the div tag. Ng template outlet is the template. If the show data property is set to true, our data will be shown, otherwise not. Like here we don't have any data coming from the ng template. If we set it to true, our data should be shown. As you can see, our data is shown now here in the browser. Now we can also create the reference variables or the variables inside our template, which is the ng template, and can also set the data of that variables using the div tag or any other tag. Like here we will say let data is equal to data, and inside here we will have to use another property binding syntax like ng template outlet context, which gives us the data about that variable. Now inside here we will use the object syntax, and inside here we will use the property that we have defined here, and inside here we can say any data like name of type of value like angular template, and we'll access it through like here data dot name. Now if we take a look at the browser, as you can see, the data is coming from the context, which is defined here inside the data property or the data object. We can also use like ng template outlet, and inside here we will use the name of the template that we have created, and inside this we will use the context property and define our data inside the context. Like here we will say data, and inside here we will say data name of type angular, and we'll comment this for a while. And if we take a look at the browser, as you can see, the data is coming from the context property here in the div tag also. Now this was the second method of, or the second way to use the ng template using the directives, like here the asterisk symbol. This was with the example of the property binding syntax. Now this is like here we have discussed about the data property or the data variable that is here inside the data property, and the data property is defined here in the ng template context and also here in the context property of the ng template outlet. Now if we want to show the data, like we have another ng template, and here we want to show the data that is shown only when the condition is true, then we can use the ng template, and we will not use any text inside here, else we will use the other ng template to give its data if the condition is true, and if the condition is not true we will use another ng template. Like here we will say hash temp, and inside here we will say this is for the then block. Then block mean When the condition is true, this will be shown, otherwise we will take in another ng template, we will copy it and paste it here. Here we will say else block, we will say ngIf the condition was show data. If this is true, then show the then block, then block, otherwise else block. Like here, if the condition is true, then it should be shown. Like here we will say if condition is true, it will be shown, otherwise not. Now this will show only when condition is false. So now we will comment this all things for a while, and if you look at the browser, this is the data coming from the else block because the condition was false. Now if we use the not operator and look at the browser, you can see this is coming from the then block. Now the then block is only used when we want to give the data of the template when the condition is true. The else block will only be available if the condition is false. We could also directly give the data inside the template ng template, but this is not a recommended way to use the data of the ng template. So this is how we use the ng template to make our data more reliable or more precise. So thanks for watching the video and stay tuned for more video lectures like this one.